Let us begin episode 2 of Solo Camping for Deuce.
Episode 2. Shizuku is at Starbucks, aka Moonlight Coffee, with her friends, and she's telling them that it's too dangerous for her to camp alone. So she's going to solo camp for 2 with Gen. And they just look at her like she's crazy, which she partially is. The girls are like, it's too dangerous to go camping alone. You're a cute girl and you know what that means. By the way, who is this hot dude that saved you? You like that shit? Shizuku is like, no, I don't think so. If anything, he annoys me, grr. And the girls are like, well, that doesn't make sense. If you want to solo camp for 2 with him. And she's like, no, man, I don't like him. I promise. Or do I? Cuts to Shizuku and Gen walking in the forest. And she's thinking, yeah, it's not possible I like him. And then Gen is like, hey, why you spacing out? And Shizuku is like, Mizuki and Saya made me weirdly aware of him. And Gen is like, well, don't fall in the river again. And they go to cross the river. Did you have to go get your Griever necklace?
All right, listen. Okay, calm down.
Okay.
I just noticed it looked like my shoulders were really fat, so I put my necklace on to draw attention away from my shoulders.
Like an optical illusion?
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, okay.
100%.
Nice.
I need to get a beard trim, so that happens on Saturday. So I'm very self-conscious, like Gen is.
When he crosses the river, and Shizuku is like, oh, I wonder if there's fish. And then Gen is like, thinking to himself, man, what am I doing? I want a solo camp. It's how I purify my soul. And Shizuku is like, hey, stop ignoring me. You promised to be my camping teacher. And Gen thinks this will be the only time he has to interact with her ever again. And then Shizuku berates him, and Gen is like, gotta endure. They continue, and Shizuku thinks maybe she was too hard on him, and she tries to make small talk. And Gen says they can fish here, and a lot of places charge extra for fishing, but he says he isn't going fishing because it's too much gear for solo campers, and it's not what he enjoys about camping. She asks if he always goes on foot since the gear is so heavy, and he's like, that's the downside, but if there are buses and public transportation, it isn't too bad.
Yeah, America, take notes.
Yeah.
Public transit is nice.
It exists. You could use it in America.
It's very bad here, though.
Yeah.
And rarely on time.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Shizuku says if you go by car, you can carry a lot more stuff. And he's like, yeah, but it's fun to pick your load out. And he calculated exactly what he needs and carefully selected his gear. And he says he feels like he can go anywhere with the gear in his bag.
It's very funny to me that, like, you say the word loadout. I don't know if he used loadout.
He didn't use loadout. I used loadout because I was going to make like a Call of Duty joke,
yeah.
But I didn't. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you want to make one?
No, Call of Duty's already a joke in itself.
Okay. What about Battlefield 6?
Looks pretty cool.
Okay.
But not my game. You know me. I don't play FPS.
Me either. They get to the site and there's other people and activities there. And Shizuku is like, oh shit, look how fun this is. They get to the management office to check in and Shizuku is like, camping for 2, that is us, wee. And Gen is like, nah, 2 separate campers, thanks. And the narrator says that there's extra charges for bringing in a vehicle, so on-foot campers are at the advantage with price.
I mean, it's $6. It's not that expensive for a car. Also,
no, it's
$3 per person, basically, to camp. Camping's not that expensive, but they end up paying like $11 total for both of them because Gen is like so fucking stubborn that he has to establish, you are not my fucking companion for this. This is my thing, okay? You're gonna be over fucking there. I'm gonna be over here.
It's 1,170 yen, which translates into $7.80 USD per person to camp. At this moment in time, in 2025. But Shizuku wants to rent a tent, and the guy is like, oh, well, I'll let it slide this time, but please reserve one in advance. Shizuku has to fill out a form, and Gen just leaves, and she's like, hey, wait, why don't we go to that fun area? And he's like, no fun. There's people there. And he wants to avoid other people, since that's how he solo camps. Gen sets up, and Shizuku is like, damn, you fast. Help me with my shit. And he's like, nah, That's not how you solo camp. And you should try pitching your own tent yourself. And Gen is like, I got to unpack my most important gear. And then he whips out the beer. And Shizuku is like, hey, no fair. I want. And he's like, no, go pitch tent. Shizuku tries, and she's like, this shit is too hard. And the narrator says this is the first difficulty campers encounter pitching the tent.
It's true.
Gen is like, you've been camping before. How are you fucking stuck on pitching your tent? And Shizuku says she usually has the camp manager do it or someone else in her party to do
so
it,
weird.
and she will cook.
Because, like, to me, obviously, there's no one there when you go camping. Like, there's, like, maybe, like, a ranger, like the park ranger. You can't go up to the park ranger and be like, hey, sorry, I'm a fucking idiot. Can you help me? And the park ranger would be like, I have to watch the beavers. I'm sorry. It's really.
I think it depends on which campground you go to. And maybe not like a metro park or like a state park. I don't think that they would help you. But if you go to like a not state-led campground,
Yeah,
you
probably.
do have to check in, and they have nice people there. And I'm sure if you ask, they would help you. I was thinking about it because I'm like, that's dumb. How does she not know how to pitch a tent? But I guess like from a campground manager perspective, like you want to get people interested so they come back. So
Yeah.
I think, you helping her pitch the tent, or if she doesn't know how, I don't think it's too big of a deal. But yeah, if she wants to continue going, then she should learn how to do it herself. And that is what Gen is for.
The whole moral of the story is that, I mean, that's literally what we're watching her do. Is we are her, and we are with watching an introvert in perfect synchronization with himself.
And beer. But Gen gives her good advice about not staking the tent immediately and clearing out rocks from underneath before you set it up, and the direction she wants the tent to be, and she should plan it all out. And then he's like, okay, well, good luck with that. And Shizuku was like, wait, what? And he said he'll advise, but he won't help. And I said, spoken like a true teacher. Good for you, Gen.
Sometimes you have to teach through action. It's okay. He is teaching by, like, forcing her to learn herself, which is fine in some instances. I mean, I'd say it depends on the person. Like, you can't just be like, all right, you're going to learn how to throw a punch now. I'm going to, like, throw a punch over here and just, like, keep punching this thing. Watch me punch this thing. And I'll tell you how to do it.
Well, also to be fair to Gen, he didn't choose to be the teacher. He
It's
was
true. No, and
forced into it.
I agree.
Well, he
Sometimes-
kind of helped because, like, she
does.
laid down the base of the tent, and then he showed her how to clear the rocks out
Yeah,
and
but
stuff
he didn't
like
have
that.
to be a dick about it.
Well, but he was forced to not be a dick, but to be the teacher.
Yes, he was forced to be a teacher, and he chose to be a dick.
He says, "Will you keep asking for help even if you're solo? Try reading the instruction manual, and there's even internet here, so you could look it up. And this is the joy of solo camping: figuring it out and making it your own." It's nighttime now, and Shizuku is finally done, and Gen takes a look, and he's like, not bad. And she's like, gotta take pics for the gram. And Gen is thinking that all she did was pitch a tent, but she's having so much fun. Shizuku is hungry, and she's like, man, I wanted to cook some sick shit, but now it's dark, and I'm tired. And she's like, at least I made some mushrooms and sausage with garlic, and a ham and cheese plate with homemade salsa as snacks. And she offers some to Gen. She said that camping solo is cool and all, but a meal eaten with others is good too. And they eat and drink and are like, damn, that's good. Gen thinks that all he does is grill, so this is all new to him, and that her cooking is good. And Shizuku is like, damn, looks like you're really enjoying it. And she says since he's always furrowing his brow, it's easy to tell if he likes something, and it makes her cooking worthwhile. They crush a 6-pack and a bottle of wine, and Shizuku doesn't show any signs of stopping. And Gen is like, man, she's drank twice as much as me. Is this how people drink in Kyushu? And I can tell that Shizuku's Kyushu accent is coming through.
Greg, you ever been to Kyushu?
I have not been to Kyushu, so I don't know if that's how they drink.
It's interesting to me that in other languages, it could be just one extra simple syllable can be the difference of accent.
Shizuka
great.
thinks it's not that he likes him, but she doesn't mind spending time. Okay, so
It's not that she likes him, but she doesn't mind spending time with him. And he's not boring.
Yeah, and he teaches her all sorts of things. And he likes her cooking. And it's been a while since a man told me to go fuck myself, so that's cool.
That shit blew my mind. I remember the last time I told the girl, I was like, hey, you're being a fucking idiot. Like, you need to, I didn't say it like that, but I had like a stern, hey, you're not gonna stomp all over this room like you're important and some shit. And she turned around and she's like, I know you just met me, but I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm a fucking bitch. And then she turned around and walked away. And I was like, okay.
Well, I'm good for her for knowing herself.
I was like, okay, I will say nothing forever again.
She's like, hey, Gen, why don't we keep solo camping for 2? And I won't go on every trip. And I'll do everything myself. And I can repay you with cooking. And he's like, fuck no. And she's like, wait, why not? You like my cooking. And he's like, I like being alone. Shizuku is like, we are alone. We're solo camping for 2. And he's like, that isn't even a fucking thing. And this isn't solo camping. And she's like, really? And he's like, of course not. We came together. We checked in together. We pitched tents together. And we ate together. Nothing about this was solo. Gen grabs his backpack and she's like, wait, where are you going? And he said that I said I would do this once and I meant it. And this is the last time we're camping as 2. And I kept my promise, so give me a break. She said she would study hard and do things on her own, and he said that isn't the problem. I don't like doing things with other people, and he's more comfortable alone. And then he picks up his tent and his chair all at the same time with one hand and is like, haven't I done enough? Let me go solo for a while. As he's leaving, he says that she'll find someone else to give her advice, and she'd probably prefer that anyway, and being with him is boring. But he won't leave her sight, and that her cooking was really good. Shizuku is like, man, what the hell? And she's like, why is he putting distance between us now? And now they're just awkwardly camping from each other like 20 feet away. The next morning, Gen is like, man, I drank too much. And he gets out of his tent, and Shizuku's tent is gone. But then she comes strolling in with some cheesy potato pancakes for breakfast, and he's like, fuck yeah, these are great. But then Shizuku is like, okay, new rules for solo camping for 2. Number 1, get on site and disperse. Number 2, maintain reasonable tent distance. Number 3, do everything you can by yourself. And number 4, don't bother each other when someone wants to be alone. She said she tried to think of a way to make this work and thought maybe drawing clearer lines would help. And she knows she's being selfish, but she feels safer going with someone she knows, and his advice is good, and she likes eating together. Gen is like, man, you can do that shit with someone else. And she's like, true, because you're stubborn, and your beard looks like shit, but...
Whoa, hey, fucking chill, lady. I'm just saying. I took offense to that, by the way.
I can't grow a beard, so I don't know what that's like. But she says, I want to camp with you. And then she's like, going home, engage rule number 1. And then she runs off. And then Gen eats the pancakes and ponders. And then I have a note here that says, we get to see now that there's probably some unresolved issues that Gen has that has made him want to be away from people. And Shizuku is pushing her way through even though he didn't ask, but sometimes that's what people need, like 5% of the time. So her gamble is paying off.
Yes, sometimes people just need to be the fuck alone and don't need you to butt in. But then there's that 1 in fucking 25 chance that someone's like, leave me alone, and they just need a friend, you know?
Yeah. I like this anime a lot.
I think it's fun.
The camping tips are actually good, and they get better from here on out.
I quite enjoy solo camping, and I will watch it as like, I like to think of our 4 episodes as a meal. Solo camping for 2 is my appetizer. My main course is Kaiju number 8, which is what I watch third. The summer Hikaru died.
It's like a salad. You'll pick at it.
Yeah. It absolutely. I'm focused, but I'm not like, this is the best part of the meal. Like, Kaiju is pretty sick. It's like steak, the meat and potatoes, and I'm like, ooh, that's delicious. And then I'm like, you know what I need? Ice cream, cheesecake, cinnamon swirl.
Damn.
And that's Dan, and it's so delicious that I fall asleep afterward. And I just pat my belly.
I feel like Kaiju is Like you go to a restaurant and you're like, I would like my steak medium, please, with the mashed potatoes and the broccoli. And then they come out and the steak is well done and they give you a baked potato and corn. And I'm like, I'm still going to eat it, but it's not exactly what I ordered.
Really? Okay. Well, I mean,
We'll get into it later.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. Greg's a little salty about Kaiju season 2. Apparently, what the fuck, dude?